Hello again, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, and I have another product we can look at today, and that is the Launch CRP 129 EVO Plus. So you all remember the 129 EVO I done before. Very good, very handy little tool and relatively cheap priced. This is the new upgrade to that, so let's have a look at it. Okay, so first we'll start off by looking at the box. So it says C-Reader Professional 129 EVO Plus, and then we got just a little bit of more writing there. Now this is an official Launch Europe and Launch UK product, so it's not one that you buy on Amazon. It's a much better system basically. 4 system diagnose, full OBD 2 functions and 13 service functions. And if we look at the back, this is just some of the information that's written on here. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read any of that a little bit better. We'll get that flash off so you can read that a bit better. So you can see here it says the C-Reader Professional 129 EVO supports battery matching, brake resets, oil resets, DPF reset, injector calibration, TPMS resets, SAS resets, steering angle sensor basically, Adblue, Gearbox, all sorts of different stuff there. Parameters and specifications over here, 5-inch screen, and there's your resolution there. OBD 2, input range 9 to 18 volts, temperatures and dimensions right there. Weight 660 grams, so relatively small and light tool. Okay, it is in a soft case, and we're just going to open it up. This is my first time opening it. User manual, and looks like a German user manual. And if we pull this out, let's have a look at the little unit there. What have we got inside? OBD connector there. So this is a wired unit. So I'm going to connect that up. Okay, now I've got that connected there on the top. You can see it's got a charging port there, a little on switch, and if this is like the old one, it's going to charge automatically when you connect it to a vehicle, so really there is no need for a charger. Just a model number on the back there, CRP 129 EVO Plus. So let's get it connected to a vehicle. Okay, we have a vehicle here, Land Rover Discovery, and we've got it plugged in. Let's press OK. So we're not connected to the internet right now. Obviously you can connect this to Wi-Fi, download your updates. We haven't done that yet. We're just going to see if we can immediately go in and do a scan of the vehicle. So there we have 2017 Discovery, 3 litre V6 diesel. We need to download some files, so we're going to have to do that and get back. Okay, we've done our system update, so let's try that again. What we're going to do is just real time go through the scan here so we can see how slow or how quick the scan tool is basically. And I think some of it does rely on if I've got a fast internet connection, which I don't. And we're in. Yeah, I think we do have a sort of an issue with the signal here on the Wi-Fi network. It is struggling to read that. Okay, so that's finally loaded up. I mean, once that network sort of issue went away, it took probably 5 seconds to scan the car here. So we have, yeah, like I said, a Land Rover Discovery. That shows up as, I think, 220,000 kilometers, which we have on this 137 miles. Now, it's completely separate to the tool, as these cars get a lot of negative stories online. I mean, I've had this car for years and I haven't had to spend any money on repairs on it. But let's look at what fault codes we have here now today. We've got one for the ABS, Vehicle Dynamics Control Switch, Signal Stuck High. That would be this, I think. And then we have particulate filter restriction, soot accumulation too high. Right, let's go into that. It's quite funny really. I've got that on there because that is my job. You couldn't make it up, could you? DPF fault. So let's look at data stream for that. So we've got a fault code logged for that, but we don't have any sort of issues with the vehicle here. Doesn't say anything about the fault codes, and yes, My wife has been driving this, which is why we are on 0% fuel. So here's another thing you can do, of course, with these tools is to go in and look at your live data, and we can see lots of different stuff here for the DPF. Diesel particulate, average distance between the regens. That sort of gives you a good ballpark figure of how healthy the DPF is. So the shorter the intervals are between DPF regens, it gives you an idea of, basically, the shorter it is, the worse condition your DPF's in. If you're doing one regen every 500 miles, it's okay. If you're doing one every 100 miles, you know your DPF's sort of getting worn out. So soot accumulation, let's have a look at what else we have here. What we want to look for is the actual soot accumulation that it's reading on there, if we can find that. So delta pressure number 1, bank 1 inlet pressure will do that as well. And we can't seem to, well, maybe I've passed the soot. Okay, we've got that up, so let's start the engine and see what sort of pressures we have. We have 0.7 kPa, which is not bad at all, so I don't know why the fault code's there for it. Have we got an option to change kPa? I would like to have an option to change that to, say, millibars or HPA, which I'm more familiar with, but 0.8 kPa is basically 8 millibars. So yeah, DPF looks quite okay. Let's rev it up to 3000 RPM. 770, 80 millibars. Just over 100 millibars there. Okay, so now what we can also do, well, 2 more codes have just popped up weirdly. I don't know what that's about, but what we can do now is press report, and obviously you can save your garage details in here, so you don't know who the reports come from. And then obviously you can share the report. It comes up as a nice little professional report like that. You can send it to yourself, you can send it to the customer, and you can do that by email. Okay, so again we've got a really terrible signal here at the moment, so that's just not loading, but you know what it is I'm saying that we can do there. So if we go back, we've got all of this list of vehicles here that it is compatible with. We'll go through that. Then obviously you've got your history, anything that you've plugged into, there we go, and you can get up your report. It saves a report to there, so you're not going to forget what the fault codes were that were on there when you plugged it in. So resets, let's have a look at that. We have all of these different resets here. Adblue and DPF mainly going to be the 2 most commonly used ones for me. Upgrade, which is basically means updates. So if we go on here, it'll probably say that we need some updates if we can get it to load again. Network is just really terrible at the moment, so let's just try and press back. That's not loading. We've got battery voltage. We've done the resets. You've got OB2 scans you can do, settings, units of measurement, so you can pick imperial or metric. So if we change that to imperial and we go back, we might have a different reading on the scan that we done here, the live data. Let's just try that out of curiosity. So one of the other things there was as well that it came up with the mileage in kilometers. I don't know if we changed the unit measurement there, would that come up as miles now? Let's find out. Okay, so now the mileage still says kilometers. Let's go back, see if we can look at the live data again, just to see if any of those numbers have changed. Okay, I'm having a bit of trouble with the net signal here on this, so I might have to cut it short a bit. It's taking a bit too long to get anything to load. So there you have the CRP 129 EVO Plus. As you can see, it does Adblue resets, it does your DPF regens, it does your live data, it does fault code reading and clearing, and obviously your other special functions that you've seen there that I've shown. So that's it, another handy little tool from Launch Europe and Launch UK, CRP 129 EVO Plus. I'll put the link in the video description where you can buy it from, and I'll see you on our next video.